Here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Good morning. I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we have a very interesting program as we start to think about spring. My guests are Jitendra Barmesha and Tarun Gushani, and they're going to be talking about cricket. It's a sport that is the second most popular sport in the world, and in Greenburgh we inaugurated a cricket field last year. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You were on the program, last year when we were starting cricket. Could you tell us basically what's happened in the past year?
So, first of all, good morning, everyone. And since last year, there has been so much uptake in the community regarding playing cricket. And we were very fortunate that town of Greenburgh gave us a space at Richard Presser Park, and we were able to not only do practice, but we hosted several events targeting children, women, and adults. We currently have almost close to 8 cricket clubs. They all came together. We had an annual tournament in the September last year. And now we are preparing for our cricket season, which hopefully should start sometime in May, June.
I was going to ask, Tarun, how long have you been playing cricket?
So, back home in India, I would say started playing cricket at the age of 6 or 7. And it has followed me. We played for recreation, but it has stayed with us. So last year when we had the opportunity and we actually saw a cricket pitch and how the community came behind us, thanks to the town of Greenburgh too, it was like a dream come true to have in your own backyard almost have a cricket pitch and somewhere you can go and play. But the outpouring and the support has been tremendous that we have had to create almost a non-profit organization to manage this level of support, and it has gone beyond just our community from India. So we've got support from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Caribbean countries, UK, Australia. We have had folks coming from all over different places who want to play cricket now. So the demand has grown tremendously.
When do you play?
For outdoors, we usually start sometime in May, June. It goes all the way through end of September, early October. But our colleagues have been playing indoor cricket as a practice in Amsford.
And when you play outside, what days do you play?
Mostly on weekends, early mornings, and sometimes late afternoons or evenings, just to warm up and do some practice. But most of the games are usually on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays.
I remember attending a meeting a couple weeks ago at somebody's house, and they had asked the county to open up a cricket field. Has there been any progress in the past, couple months?
Yes, I would say we were very fortunate to have a walkthrough at Macy's Park through our elected official, Mary Jane. And that was in last year during the fall. And this year also earlier, as you mentioned, a couple of weeks ago, we met her and there are ongoing discussion. It looks like very promising because we need additional playground, especially for outdoor cricket. And one is not enough. There are so many players, both adults and children, who would like to play this game.
So last year, when we started playing at Richard Presser Park, that was on Sundays, right, in the morning. That was almost like a pilot, very successful pilot. And now, thanks to you and Jerry, we are expanding that. So hopefully things will open up now, just not on Sunday, but on Saturday also.
That's only for the town of Greenburgh.
Town of Greenburgh, yes, town of Greenburgh. But now to also look at other communities, other towns, the interest is to open up more grounds so that they can be dual purpose grounds, maybe baseball, cricket, other sports can be inclusive in that. So I think just the education piece, forming the organization and educating people about the sport, I think that is really important. And thanks to you. Yeah.
Now, when we installed a cricket pitch, it was very, very inexpensive. I think it was about $1,500 or less. So why are we having, any difficulty having every community open up a cricket field in their communities? There's certainly a demand.
I think it is more about education to the Parks and Recreation Committee and their members, those who do not understand cricket. And as Tarun mentioned, we did form a not-for-profit organization called 22 Yard Sport. Our mission is to educate and promote regarding cricket. So as we did our sort of a testimony at the town of Greenburgh, it's not very expensive to create a cricket pitch, and it can be done on a baseball or a soccer ground, and maybe certain time can be allotted for individual players who would like to come forward and play.
I know that the Greenburgh has a large Indian community and Pakistani community. I'm wondering if Westchester County also has a large, community, and ideally, should there be cricket fields in every town and village?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at New York City, not almost every borough has cricket ground, and as you mentioned, there are large ethnic South Asian, Caribbean, or players from England and Australia, those who play cricket. I'm a little bit perplexed that other counties or other towns should create a space so that we all can play cricket.
So we're almost trying to create or take the model that has been developed in New Jersey, Stanford, Connecticut, and I think there needs to be sort of a roadmap, right? So we have just started last year in 2019, I think 2020, 21. I think we hope to see with more education, more pickup, and more interest in that, because the USA as a whole is now part of the International Cricket Committee, and they play the game of cricket, and they compete at the highest level, at the world level. So the more we can start with the grassroots level, the kids, coaching them, I think the sport will grow, and then in the future you might find somebody from town of Greenburgh actually playing cricket for USA. So that's the, our goal really.
That's great. We have to take a break, and we're going to be right back in a few minutes talking about cricket. How do they join your team if people are interested?
So the website is 22yardsports.com. So www.22yards, YARDSSPORT.com. You can go in, you can sign up, and we will know your interest, and we get an email, we'll follow up with you, and we can get together.
Or come and meet us in person when we start playing cricket at Richard Presser Park starting in May, June.
Great. I'm Paul Feiner. We'll be right back.
Now, the only local radio game in the Golden Apple.
1460 WVOX.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Hi, I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we're talking about the second most popular sport in the world, and that's cricket. And my guests are Jitendra Parmesha and Tarun Shani, and both have been very involved in helping get cricket started in the town of Greenburgh. And we were talking before the break about cricket and how inexpensive it is for local governments to actually implement this program. The town of Greenburgh, we got probably $1 million worth of favorable publicity from cricket lovers, and it only cost us $1,500 or less. And we're just trying to encourage cities, villages, towns, the county to install cricket pitches in their community. And as was said before, these fields could be used for other sports as well. So by having a cricket pitch, it doesn't make it harder for a recreation department to allow baseball or soccer
Yeah.
on their fields.
Yeah, so you could play multiple games. It could be a dual multi-purpose ground where you can play different sports. Cricket does not really hinder any other sport, and I'm pretty sure any other sport does not hinder. It's just about getting the timings. So if you're playing on the weekends, which sport gets what time range so that people can come and play. Kids can come and play. So it's just working through from an education standpoint and just getting in and working out the timings with everybody, I believe.
What's the difference between cricket and, say, baseball?
First of all, I would like to mention that the cricket, generally what we are playing, the ball is a little bit softer than the hard leather ball. And the domestic or international cricket, which is generally played, is a hard leather ball, which is very similar to a baseball. And the cricket, what we are talking about, is the softer than the leather but harder than a tennis ball. So that is number one, because public safety is very important while we are playing these kind of recreational sport. So the difference between, I would say there is more similarities than more difference in terms of a pitcher or those who are batsmen and taking runs and scoring runs. There are definitely some differences in how do you run between the pitches and the bases. But definitely they require an open space. Whereas baseball is played on a sort of a triangular field on one side of the game, where cricket is oval ground or a round circular ground where the pitch is in the center, which is 22 yards by 10 feet. And when a pitcher throws the ball, in baseball it directly hits the bat, whereas in cricket it has to drop on the pitch first, generally. Sometimes it hits directly on the bat, but by and large the ball has to drop on the pitch.
Yeah.
And,
I think the good part is the baseball, the playing area is sort of a diamond shape, right? So cricket needs a rectangle pitch, the 22 yards by 10, as Jeet said. So it fits in really well. And since there's not too much stuff happening on that, so we do not really spoil that area. So I think cricket, as in from a talking about multi-purpose, it fits in really well on a baseball ground as a dual purpose.
Now, do you enjoy baseball as well?
Absolutely.
yes.
And before Greenburgh started cricket, did members of the cricket community play baseball? And why do you prefer cricket over baseball?
So interesting thing. Back home in India, we used to have cricket and we used to have baseball, both sports. We used to play both the sports there, and so we knew the rules. We knew how to play. So when we came here, it was a good way for us to integrate into the community at that time. So we love both sports. It's just that you're talking about what came first, chicken or the egg. But so we started with cricket. We saw a lot of cricket, so that's why I think we sort of are closer to cricket as a sport.
So
But
if there's
we
an
love both sports.
American community in India, they may be pushing for a baseball field. The American community
Yeah,
in India.
absolutely.
So it could be like...
Yes, yes.
Actually, there are a lot of skills from baseball now we are applying in the game of cricket, especially while you are fielding, the way the players skid. So there's a lot more to learn from baseball now in terms of fielding or even hitting the ball. So I think it is a mutually beneficial skill set if you can.
How many players on a team?
11.
And do you have
Playing
have you found from last year that everybody who wanted to play sort of got a chance, or are there a lot of disappointed people?
I would say there are a lot of disappointed people. Yeah, unfortunately. As you said, the time slots are very. First of all, the cricket ground is limited. The time slots are limited, and not everybody get a chance to even practice.
And how long is a game usually last?
So we play very ultra short format game. One game is about 90 minutes to 120 minutes, and only 22 players at the most can play at one time. So again, space is a challenge, times are challenging, and we need a more ground so that more community members can play.
So we're trying to accommodate. So typically we play a certain number of what we call overs. Every over in a cricket game has 6 pitches. So we typically play 20 overs. That's 120 pitches per side. So we have shortened our games so that we can squeeze a one complete game and we can play another game afterwards. So we can involve more people. So we have tried to become more innovative in the way we have tried to fit more people, fit the demand, try to, understand and really get more people playing so that they don't go home disappointed.
That's great. We have to take another break. Could you give us the website of your organization?
Yeah, it's www.22yardsport.com.
That is great. And the games start in May and June and go through the end of October.
That's
Yes,
right.
That's right.
That is great. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we'll be right back after this brief break.
WVOX.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Hi, I'm Paul Feiner, and I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor. And my guests are Jitendra Barmesha and Taran Gushani, and we're talking about cricket. And both of them were involved in helping the town set up the first Westchester County cricket pitch field, which we opened last year, but it's definitely not enough. We need a lot more cricket fields, in the county because there's a really great, great demand. And how many teams do we have in the county?
I think around the town of Greenburgh we have around 8, but overall county I would predict it between 18 to 20.
Wow, so there's definitely a
They're
demand.
growing. They're growing actually.
And you had a program last year for kids.
Yes.
So is this a sport that a lot of kids enjoy?
Yeah, so last year we again wanted to do a pilot and see the interest in the community with the kids. So we had kids between the age of 4 and 10. We invited them for a one-day cricket clinic. So I know you were there. So we had close to 80 kids show up for that event. It was very quickly organized within a 2 weeks time period. We had a lot of press coverage. We had drones flying. It was pretty exciting to be part of that. And so we formed because we had so many kids. We formed 3 groups, and there was one group trying to learn pitching, the one group that was trying to learn how to bowl, and one group that was learning how to field. And so we divided them. And then after it was done, we took them around the main pitch area at Richard Presser Park, and we actually played a game to show them how it's actually done, the real game. So it was very well organized. Really thank you to the town for the support there. And this year, with the help of the town, we hope to do regular weekly cricket clinics. So get a group of, let's say, 10 to 20 kids from town of Greenburgh and do this every week so that we build on their skills and have folks that have done really well in the game of cricket coach them, and so that we can see progress over time.
What was refreshing about those cricket clinic, as Tarun mentioned, was the community which came out, and we were pleasantly surprised. We had to close down the registration because of overwhelming response. And we hope this year we would be able to do a little bit more than what we did last year.
When do you think you'll have a kids cricket program?
So so we're working out some of the logistics with Jerry, Park Commissioner, and if we get the approval, we would open it up on Saturdays in the morning, around a 45-minute period to be held, let's say from May right up till August, and have at least 15 to 20 kids participate. 45 days in the morning, that would be the ideal thing.
And our goal is to create a sort of a little league, because there's already existing leagues in Connecticut, Mad Dogs, and they would love to come and educate us and play with us and have a small tournament. That's what our understanding is.
For a lot of sports, there's college scholarships, and I'm wondering if this is a sport that has been identified by any colleges as scholarship potential.
Not to our knowledge, but look at the history of lacrosse, which was 30 or 40 years old in this country, and now there are some elite universities are giving scholarships. So we hope that in near future or very soon, some of the universities or colleges will be giving scholarship for cricket.
So USA Cricket Organization was formed a long time, but they all came together again, and the board was formed in 2017, the existing. So we are looking to have 22-yard sports affiliate with the USA Cricket. And from what we understand, there's a lot of backing from the International Cricket Committee, the committee that really has support of close to 2 billion cricket lovers around the country. So they are helping USA Cricket financially also. So we hope as the education and the sport grows, more grounds come into effect to play cricket, we will see some of that happening. But as you pointed out, that's extremely essential to happen, to have those scholarships in place. So
one of the quotes that I remember from about a year ago is somebody told me that cricket's, for people who love it, is sort of like a religion.
Yeah,
is that and then I heard it from one person, I heard it from another person, I heard it all summer long. Why do you think people consider cricket like a religion?
I think it's a connotation for entertainment and also physical activities. And if you look at especially South Asian country, whether it is Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, this is one of the most widely not only played sport but also watched. India's national game is hockey, but we hardly hear about hockey. Similarly, in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and other countries, UK, Australia, New Zealand, it's very popular. People just enjoy. They want to be fit, and they can. It's not only for male; it's for female, and it's also for children.
And you're a doctor, so you feel that cricket is one recreation activity that is good for their health.
It's must, actually. It's an essential way to get healthy. Go out and play and sweat it out and burn some calories.
Yeah. And cricket is also a very old sport. It came from the British dynasty, really, in the 1800s. That's when cricket came to USA also. Baseball took more popularity, but cricket actually came in during that time, and it has stuck in places like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and all these South Asian countries, and that's where it has grown, really.
Right, we have to take one final break, and at the end of the break, we'll continue our discussion about cricket, and hopefully in a couple of years, there'll be so many cricket fields in Westchester that this will also be the second most popular sport in the county.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor. Could you tell us again the website?
It's www.22yardsport.com.
And how expensive is it to join?
The membership for the whole year is...
With world and national news.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we're fortunate to talk about the second most popular sport in the world with two leaders in Greenburgh who helped start the sport in Greenburgh or promote the sport in Greenburgh, Jitendra Barmesha and Tarun Gushani. I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we were talking right before the break. Is this very expensive, the sport? And how much does it cost you to join?
Our annual membership is only $50, which most of us, we do have the equipments and gears, and that $50 is usually covers the cost of the park fees, actually annual fee, and then the balls which we have to purchase.
Do people, since there's so few fields right now, if people join, is there a good chance that they'll get to at least play once during the season?
Absolutely. So the process is once you go to 22yardsports.com, there's a membership section there. You go and sign up. The annual membership is $50. Once we get that information, we will pair you into one of the 8 teams in Westchester who are really looking to expand their teams as well. Once we pair you, you will have information on when they play cricket. And as soon as you get paired, you're in the team, you can play cricket on the weekend. But what we try to do is, as I mentioned earlier, is if you come, we will definitely...
Oh, we got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Good morning. Hello?
Yes, hi, how you doing?
Good.
I've been listening to the show back and forth in my car, and maybe you've already answered my little question. Can you please tell me, how did that sport get the name cricket? Maybe you already told everybody, but if you wouldn't mind, I've always wondered, how did that sport get the name cricket?
So, we do not know the answer right now, but I can tell you it was a British sport. That's where they created it. But, if we can get your information, we'll be happy to send you the information on how the name came about. But, thank you for the question. So,
I know the answer.
Okay.
Or you know the answer too? You could get it.
No, you get it.
No, because I just Googled it. I was cheating.
Oh, my God. What is it?
Origin of the name of the sport cricket proposes the name cricket comes from the Middle Dutch phrase for hockey, met de krit ketsen, which means with a stick chase. Is that accurate?
Oh, my God. Well, geez, thanks for doing that, but I've enjoyed the show, and I've had an opportunity here in New Rochelle to watch a match or two, and they have a cricket club here in New Rochelle. I don't know if it's still really active, but I'm very glad to see that you guys over there in Greenburgh got something going, so you could have another sport played over there. It's a very good thing, and I just thought I'd call in, but thanks. I appreciate it.
Great, and I want to mention that the cricket field is Richard Presser Park. It's on Central Avenue, north of the Four Corners in Hartsdale. That's where we have the 9/11 wall.
And
and
that's
it's
right. Yeah, I know where that is. Yes.
and it's
maybe I'll stop by there and catch a match.
that's great. So thank you very much for calling in.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you. Let's say somebody's not that athletic. Is this a sport for them, or what type of person would generally enjoy it?
So you can, there's another way you can play cricket. So just like in the baseball, you have softball, you play it under the arm. So in cricket, you can play the sport instead of bowling over the arm, you can play it under the arm, which is less strenuous. Does not require you to, lift your arms around. So if you have any ailments, you can just do that. And with the pitching, it's you're standing at one place really. You can work things around so that it does not become very strenuous for you. So as an introduction, we would highly recommend people play the game under the arm, see how it works out. and be involved.
And I'll be honest with you, majority of us, including myself and Tarun, we are amateurs. We are not professionals. We just go and play to keep ourselves fit and just enjoy. So again, if you are able to ambulate a little bit, I think you can play this cricket.
Right. The other question that I had is when we were looking at a cricket field in Greenburgh, people were mentioning that they were concerned. It's a heavy ball,
Yes.
and they're concerned about placing the field near homes. Is it important for local communities that are considering cricket to make sure that it's located at the right place?
Absolutely. And I mentioned last year and this year, public safety and the neighbor safety is of paramount importance to us, and also to the people who are watching the sport or who are actually playing. We are at the moment we are not using the hard leather ball, which is not only firm, or it can be people can be prone to injury if they get hurt through that ball. But right now we are playing with a ball which is softer than the leather ball and the little bit harder than the tennis ball. And we are very mindful when we are playing. And obviously, the ideal ground will be an isolated ground with like a stadium features, but we are not there yet. But at the same time, we are very mindful of our for public safety while we are playing.
That's great. I know in everybody's mind and doctors, people are concerned about the corona, and if people are playing cricket outside, right now people are afraid of going to events with a lot of people. Is this sort of a sport that is safe to play during this whole virus problem?
Good news and bad news. The good news is that our cricket season starts from May through end of October, and we hope by that time the coronavirus will have more understanding of the mutation of the virus, the virulence of the virus, the laboratory test, and the treatment and vaccines and pills. But as with any other sports, you just have to be very careful regarding the contact and wash your hands. And if you're a little bit sick, please stay home rather than.
So if somebody's coughing and they want to play cricket, you'll tell them to go to another town.
No, they should stay home.
He's a doctor. He might treat them there.
That is true. From the cricket experiences, who are some of the celebrity cricket players that you admire?
There are a few of them, especially Indian cricketer Virat Kohli, who is the currently number one in the world. But there are many international players across the world, from Australia, New Zealand, England. But for me personally, I look up to Virat Kohli now, and it used to be Sachin Tendulkar in the past, and he's still a cricket diva.
So far in Greenburgh, most of the people who have been signing up for cricket are from the Indian Pakistani community. Are you getting any interest from the Caribbean community?
Yes. So Caribbean, obviously, we're getting interest from Jamaica and Trinidad, Tobago, all the Guyana places there. So at my workplace, I work for New York Life. So we have obviously people from all different communities. So I have been promoting it there as well. So I've got a lot of interest from the Caribbean community there, and we have sort of identified a center of influence in that community who's very interested in playing, and he's from the town of Greenburgh as well, lives very close by. So he's become a good friend through this process, but he would like to be very involved in promoting the sport as well.
One suggestion that was made last year by a resident of Greenburgh would be to have a competition between the Caribbean community and the Indian community.
Yes.
And
we're open for challenge. Yeah.
Who do you think would win?
Caribbean, I guess.
Caribbean.
Why would you think Caribbean would be better?
I mean, from my own observation for the teams in Yonkers and Bronx, Majority of them are from Guyana, Jamaica, and other parts of Caribbean island, and they are more professional. They are not amateur like us.
So, and it's a way of promoting diversity in the town,
Yes.
and to have a little competition among different ethnic groups.
Absolutely, yeah.
Have a little fun in the process. Absolutely.
That's right. So maybe that's something that your team could consider sponsoring. I think it would get a lot of attention, and it might actually generate even more interest in among other municipalities.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
That would be.
We had one team from Yonkers last year, and they played extremely well. They were there till quarterfinals.
Great.
And we're looking forward to play more this year.
Terrific. I want to thank you both for joining us, and I'll see you on the field.
Okay.
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for
And
having
hopefully I'll see you on not one field, but on many fields, because by the end of this year, we want at least some.
That
Additional
is our
ones.
goal, and we thank you, you and the Parks and Recreation Committee for promoting this sport.
Great. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor. See everybody soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.